Yep. Okay, everybody, here I am. It's me, Lila. Gmar Rides back again. But in this case, it's Gmar Rides bookmaking. So, I just wanted to show off this book that I've made, just in case the person who wants it decides they don't want it. And in this case, it is a book, that I have made. And I've made it from start to finish. The cover, let's just go ahead and get right into talking about it, shall we? And the spine, it's got a curved spine. I have made the cover and the spine myself. I did some custom paint blending and I made this spine. Then I cut it down and attached it to a couple of pieces of masonite that I covered with some crinkly paper. And I like the way that it's not even the same color because I took some distressing to it. So that part was kind of cool. But then I got smart on this one and I decided to put something together to secure it. So it's got some twill tape that I've custom dyed. And that's a whole process too. I'll tell you all about that sometime. But anyway, like I said, here we go. Let's get right into it. And this is for a modern day sea captain if it goes to the person that I think wants it. And I hope you can see that well enough. In this case, you open it up, and I have made this this little envelope-y thing right here that you can see. And it's just made out of an old file folder. And I have secured another little envelope on it that I have distressed, and I've tucked some things in there that I thought might be of interest to the sea captain who's going to acquire this book. I put a couple of other cool things on it because I don't know why. And I also stuffed this pocket with other things, and if they're not his cup of tea, he can just take them out and put them aside. But I put some writing paper in there of a couple of different types, put a bingo card in case he winds up in a bingo game. I don't want to be unprepared, you know. I also tucked a little notebook in there, also of my own making. And some other stuff. I guess I have to run that back here to show you because I don't want to mess with the lens anymore. And yeah, lots of stuff. And then, of course, I decorated the inside of the cover. This is some, I think this is some Tim Holtz paper that I grunged up because I didn't think it was dirty enough. And if you look at this pocket, I did some not hand sewing, I did some machine stitching on it, which I think makes it look pretty cool. The inside of the book itself is created using some more of this, this sort of nautical paper that I have. And you'll see the spine a little bit more in a second here, but this is the journal that I also made and tied in here. The journal is created to come out, and I'll show you what the back side of it looks like in a second. But I've made this out of sandwiching a whole bunch of sturdy layers together. And then I put this on here. I cut it out on my Cricut, and I distressed it to look old. It's got what looks like rust on it, but it's a technique to age things. And I thought it looked pretty cool. So there it is. And then you go to the inside, and again, I've put a few things in it that I thought a captain might be interested in, which would include a world map and lots of blank paper to write down whatever important notes he might want to take. I also thought he might be liking to be up on some current affairs from the times that interested him back in the day. So there's something about the John Wilkes Booth killing the president. But you can see there's a lot of blank paper in here, and that is deliberate so he can write things, or he can put stickers in here, he can make notes, he can keep track of accounts, and whatever else. There's some extra pages too, and these papers that I have bound in here by hand, I've dyed them, I have tea stained them, I have stenciled them. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I really enjoy doing this type of work. Oh, and here's the part where we can take this inside book out. This is simply some twine that I have bound into the spine of the bigger book. So there it's untied, and we'll take this book out in a moment. Again, you can see that there's lots of spaces to write things in. Why am I telling you guys this? Just because this book is already sold? Because although I would never make the same book twice, I can make the same type of book twice. Wouldn't be at all the same, but sort of the same feel. I think you get my drift. And this inside book that we have has 5 signatures, and one of them includes a fold out of a ledger page. Isn't that cool? But yeah, and sometimes I stick some things on that I think are comical, or in this case I think I poked a hole in the page accidentally, so yeah. I also like the way these tea-stained pages sound. Doesn't that sound cool? I cut down a file folder and I did an overlay stencil here, and then you open it up and you can see kind of creepy guy there and a stampy guy there. I also took a couple of small things and poked a hole here and added a couple of charms there. Some of these things are old books that I've gutted, and in this case it's an old German book. Or in some other stuff, it's Nick the Booksmith on Etsy or on her Flickr account where I've gotten free stuff that I could download. And I did learn how to do this book technique on Nick the Booksmith on Teachable. Did I tell you that? I really love this. I think he turned out pretty cool. It's like a crow or a raven sitting on a egg timer. I don't know what the official name is. This is the back of that book that I made. And you can see the stitching of the individual signatures. I've been working in ink today, can you tell? Again, this is some, I think this is some more Tim Holtz paper. And so then we'll just put that aside so I can show you the rest of it. And then you can also see how the inside spine of the book is constructed. Well, you kind of can. Part of it is a state secret from Nick the Booksmith. Part of it's not. Part of it I adapted myself, and but I don't exactly know what I can and can't share with you. And I am going to be sending this in the mail to the person who wants it. So close your eyes for a second, people. Hang on, hang on. I know, right? This is particularly something that I just really like this design. And I'm going to try it in a couple of different methods too. I kind of want to try it with a raised cover now. I think that'll look really cool. But yeah, this is cloth. To get back to this is cloth that I have dyed myself and distressed because it started out looking a lot cleaner. And I didn't think that this particular modern day sea captain would have a clean and tidy book. But this is the inside of the book, or the box. And to go back to the box itself, I created this using Nick the Booksmith on Teachable. So it's a lot of fiddliness. So yeah, you open the box, and the hinge on the box has been a piano style hinge created out of a single piece of twill tape on the outside. It has a little hook to hold it closed, and a lot of things on the inside that I think the sea captain might have added just to keep track of. I mean, yeah, it's got the definition of way, a path or a physical means of getting from one place to another. Yeah, and some cool pictures. And then a strange thing happened. You could make up your own stories about what the strange thing is. I also still have some of this beautiful, beautiful lace, and I'm going to be using that to pad the insides of this box during shipment because I don't want anything to get broken. And so this is in a whole bunch of stuff that I got, but we'll just put that aside for now, shall we? Isn't it beautiful, though? Again, this is from Nick the Booksmith, and it is covering up this stuff. I created a pencil from a pencil that I thought was too ugly to go in my cool stuff. It is also secured in the long section of the box here, and the box also has an actual cat-sized shell. I don't know what the official name of them is. It was on a piece of my mom's vintage jewelry, and it fell off, and it's just been bopping around the house since then, so it's time to let it go in the world. Here's a little velvet pouch, and it has something in it, and I'm not going to tell you, but the recipient will probably really like it. There's also a little pickle fork, or whatever, I don't know what that is, with a seahorse on it. Couple of little blossoms. I don't think they're toxic, but here's the magic seeds from it. Here's a few more little potion bottles, and there's not really, anything that could hurt you in there. But just the same, I wouldn't drink them. Also, there's a couple of little books that I've made myself using Nick the Booksmith Teachable. This is the story of the universe. And if you have a really strong magnifying glass, you could read that. There's a blank book here also that you could look through if you really wanted to. And a date, June 11th, 1923, and the label potions. There's also a bottle of some appetite chips in here. Not appetite like go eat dinner. Appetite like the type of stone. There's also a crystal in there. I don't remember what they're good for, but you could look that up if you were so interested as far as that goes. This is a beautiful piece of metallic lace that is pretty vintage. I think it's from the 1800s, and it's lost a bit of its sparkle, but it's still pretty cool. And when you open this up, I don't exactly know what the deal is with this emblem, but I thought it was pretty cool. So I thought that the sea captain should have it, and it's all wrapped up in a piece of grungy old gauze. And so that's that. And then I'm going to secure the top of this after I put all the stuff back in here, I'm going to secure the top of this with this little Chinese bead that I have sewn on here. And then, she says, then you get to see the back of it, which, I mean, as far as things go, is nothing really spectacular. But that's it. That is, I don't know what the name of this book is. It's just the Green Map book for a traveling gentleman, I suppose. I hope you like this well enough to like, comment, subscribe, and maybe share with your friends. This is really just my secondary channel to go along with Gma Rides. I make books when I'm not traveling, and if you have an interest in any sort of a book, you know how to get a hold of me probably. And so I would encourage you to do that. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I really enjoy making these books for people. And look at this. Isn't that cool? And like I said earlier, I like it because it's noisy. I hope you all have a great day, and I look forward to seeing you with the next book I have to show off. And yep, so just like that, another video is over. Don't forget to hit the like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't done so yet. And maybe you could share this with your friends. Heck, like I always say, share it with your enemies. That'd get even with them. But anyway, I hope you enjoy these still pictures that might have a little bit better view on what I've shown you in the video. Okay? Okay.